last season. In recognition of his 100th win, Coach Payton is receiving a commemorative ball from NKU Senior Associate Athletics Director John Cruz.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Bill Akers Baseball Complex at Friendship Field here at NKU's campus, where we are watching Dizzy Payton get his award-winning 100th win baseball. I am Joshua Northcutt. Alongside me is my play-by-play man, Jameson. Jameson, how we doing?
Doing great. How about you?
Doing really well. Ready for some baseball on this cloudy, windy, a little bit chilly day. Going to the mound today. Who we got going for us?
You got number 34, Jack Johnson. This is his first start for the North. He's made 11 appearances this season.
Always good to get that first start and see how he goes in here. How was his last outing?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. He pitched 1.1 innings against Eastern Kentucky in relief. He gave up no runs, walking one, and then also striking out one.
Not too bad of an outing there, and a little bit surprising to see him get a start. I wonder what was going on there. Maybe we'll be able to talk to Dizzy about it a little bit later. But, these day games, as you mentioned before we went live, you have a little situation where sometimes you want to change things up, test some new arms, and just see how this goes down.
Yeah.
Do you have the lineup for us ready for the Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles?
I do. So I was not paying attention. I did not write down positions. But batting first, you have Parker Martin. Batting second is Kai Holiday. Batting third is Cole Kitchens. Batting fourth, you got Patrick McLean. Batting fifth, you got Cannon Coakley. Sixth, Clayton Slack. Seventh, Charlie Marcia. 8 is Cameron Boyd, who is from Beechwood, helping here in Northern Kentucky. Then finally batting 9th is Hunter Miller.
And it looks like we're about to get underway as Parker Martin steps into the batter's box. First pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Very nicely done to get it up on a 0-1 count. Pitcher set. Strike two. Beautiful pitch right there on the inside corner by Johnson. Painting the black, it looks like. Interesting to see if Martin came to swing the bat today.
So interesting about, he's only has 17 strikeouts on the season, so he's not a very strikeout-prone guy.
Little outside there. As the count goes now to 1-2. It's interesting that he keeps looking at his wrist. I can't figure out if it's a pitch count, like in Major League Baseball. Hit right up the middle.
Oh.
Dived by the shortstop, but unable to get it, so that's a leadoff hit for Southern Indiana.
I mean, that's what he does. You look at his stats. He has 42 hits on the season, 5 of them went for extra base hits. So really not a power guy, but he just gets on base, and hopefully they can bring him home.
Kai Holiday will be stepping up to the plate now.
Kai Holiday's coming off a pretty good weekend series against Tennessee Tech, went 5 for 11 with a run scored against them.
Looked like he squared around the bunt, but pulled back. Strike one on the outside corner. Early count of 0-1. That's got to be the pitch that he's looking at because he keeps looking at his wrist. So it must be like a number sign that he does.
Are you talking about the pitcher or the batter?
Yeah, the pitcher.
Interesting.
Beautiful bunt down the first base side, and the pitcher throws it away. The runners will be able to go on to second and third. Got to settle down here.
Just a bad play by the pitcher right there. Threw it over his head.
Sometimes it'll happen, though. You get a little bit carried away, especially first start nerves. It can happen. Now stepping up to the plate for SIU is number 12, Cole Kitchens. Men on second and third, no outs.
Kitchens the DH for this team.
Johnson set to deliver, a little low.
I mean, if you look at the stats for Jack Johnson this season, he has given up 3 home runs in 11 innings, but with the wind, it is about 20 miles per hour pushing in, as that is
ripped hard down to the third base line and wasn't able to be recovered. So a run will score for SIU, and they take an early 1-0 lead.
I mean, that's just the hard hit ball. Got shortstop or third baseman wasn't able to get underneath it.
Yeah, the hot corner was very hot on that one. Now stepping up to the plate is number 4, Patrick McLean. There's still no outs, men on first and third. Johnson sets to deliver. Strike. Beautiful pitch, placed down low.
And for Patrick, he's coming into this game, 10-game hit streak going on for him right now.
Not a bad way to have a mid-season form. Johnson, again, set to deliver with an 0-1 count. And ripped hard down the line, but foul. We'll go to 0-2. Score remains 1-0. Ball's back into play.
I mean, if you look at Johnson, he's not much of a strikeout guy, giving up only 3.7 per 9 innings this season, but
could definitely use one right here, and that's what he just got. Sit him down and now look for the pitcher's best friend of a double play would be beautiful. But stepping to the plate is number 14.
Coakley.
Junior infielder. Johnson quickly set, deliver. Paints the corner, strike one.
Has Johnson, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's had first pitch strikes every at bat, right?
I believe everyone but one so far.
Okay.
So always good to get out ahead. And it seems like USI wants to take that first pitch as he blows by strike number 2. 0-2 count now. He's working very quickly also. He knows what he wants and he's throwing it.
He is.
From the stretch. And ooh, good block there by the catcher. Try to get him to chase one in the dirt. Can't hit on that. Count goes to 1-2.
Looks like the Holiday's trying to tease him at third base, trying to show that he's going to steal home potentially.
I mean, not holding him on, so he might as well get that big lead. Ripped right back at the pitcher, and beautiful play there. Throws him out at first base, and that will kill the little route that SIU had running. So it will be 1 and NKU coming up to bat.
Yep.
We'll be right back with you after the break. All right, we are back at Bill Lakers Baseball Complex as NKU's, let's see, number 3.
Yep. Shaney Felt.
Thank you. Steps up to the plate. Takes the first pitch strike.
I mean, if you look at Shaney Felt, we have 3 guys coming back from the 2024 team that made it to the baseball regionals last season. Shaney Felt was one of the leaders of that team, and now he's a graduate student still playing for the Norse.
as he takes ball. So we're sitting at 1-1. A little close, but nice job trying to paint the black, but did not quite succeed. Pitcher from an awkward stretch blows one right by him. Strike 2.
And speaking of the pitcher, if you're looking at his stats on the season, he's pitching to a 9.58 ERA. He's making his second start of the season tonight with only 7 strikeouts in 10 innings, so he's not really a strikeout pitcher for the most part.
Ball on the outside there. A little frustrated. Hard throwing lefty though. Kind of got an awkward stretch, but it's got to make the hitters kind of sit back and wait on it if you watch. He does like this double step, but I guess since nobody's on base, you're allowed to do it. Ooh, ripped down the line, but just fouled through to first base. We were sitting at 2-2. Ball coming back in play. This is the second time that NKU and USI have met this year. USI came out with a 10-0 victory out in Evansville. Ball hit hard. Routine ground ball though, and it gets it out at second base.
Yep, hit straight to the second baseman on that play.
Now stepping up to the plate is number 17 for NKU. Logan Davenport, the junior outfielder. Looking to get things started. NKU trails 1-0.
I mean, if you're looking at Davenport, he's currently rocking 395 batting average. However, he also has an on-base percentage of .500 this season, so he gets on base a lot for NKU.
Yeah, Reds fans will tell you that's not good. As we take ball 1 here. Good eye there by Davenport. From the stretch. Ripped hard. In the gap. Finds one. Left fielder on it quickly, but it looks like Davenport will be in second base standing up. Very nice hit.
And for Davenport, that's now his 13th triple or double of the season. My apologies.
Not a bad stat to have right there. And now coming up is number 26, Gabe Miranda, who me and you talked about before the game, is an exciting player here at NKU, a transfer from TCU.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously at TCU it didn't work out for him. However, against the Horizon League competition stuff, he's been absolutely killing baseballs.
Takes a ball high, up near the face. Not exactly a player I'd probably want to upset, so you might want to keep that baseball down next time.
True. For NKU, they had 4 hits against Southern Indiana at their place. 2 of them was by Gabe Miranda.
He has easily been the best player so far, multiple-time Horizon League Player of the Year, as he hits one right back up the middle, and it looks like it will bring around Davenport to score. And we are all tied here at 1-1. Well, that's always a good way to start things off compared to the last game where they got shut out.
Yep, you know it.
Now stepping up to the plate is Sam Bond. We got a 1-1 ball game here. NKU's already got half the hits they had last time with 2, but they also have 2 errors, so they're going to need to work on that on the defensive end. Take strike 1. Painting the black on the outside. Very nice pitch.
Both these pitchers are working very fast this game. I don't know if they're trying to get out of the cold or what, but they're trying to speed up the game as much as possible.
I'm going to say I greatly appreciate that with the way this wind is blowing in from right field.
Have to agree.
Ooh, looked like a good one there, but he's going to call it a ball, so we're sitting at 1-1. And as mentioned, the wind is blowing in heavily from right field, about 20 miles per hour. So if the ball goes out of the ballpark today, it is going to have to be a bomb. Settles in. No, just on the outside. We sit at 2-1.
I'm not gonna lie. If I'm this pitcher off those last 2 pitches, I'm asking what else can I do?
That one was a little outside. I'll give it a little bit outside. Pitcher again from the stretch. And he picked off Miranda, and he's going to get him at second base. Very nicely done. The left-hander got him with a little up kick throw over, which is always tough to do when you're or tough to see, I should say, as a base runner. You got to pay attention to that pickoff move, especially versus the lefty.
Yes.
We now have 2 down. The count is 2-1 at the bottom of the first. Tie the ball game 1-1. Paints the black right there. Look about the same spot as the first second pitch that he caught a ball, but you know what? Hey, sometimes you just got to go right back and see if the ump will make it up for it. Count sits at 2-2. From the stretch, his awkward stretch, I should say. And it's another hit right back up the middle, but the shortstop is going to be able to make the play. Nicely done, and that will end the inning. We will go to the top of the second with a 1-1 ball game, and we'll be back to you after this break. And we are back, and as the pitch is working very quickly yet again, a little high for that on ball 1. We are again tied at 1-1 here at Bill Akers Baseball Complex. Stepping to the plate, it looks like number 5. Is that correct?
Yep, Clayton Slack.
Thank you, sir.
Last game against us, you were talking about that 10-0 loss. He went 1 for 3 with a double, and then he ended up scoring against us.
Hopefully that does not happen today as he gets that first pitch, or his third pitch blown right by him. We were sitting at a 2-1 count. As you mentioned, with this cold weather, it should be pitchers want to work quickly, and that is shot right at the shortstop, but a beautiful play. And they'll be able to quickly turn it around the horn and going right back to the pitcher. 1 down for NKU.
Brandon Rowe, he just jumped up there and able to grab it immediately. Great play by the shortstop.
Next coming up is number 19, Charlie Mercer.
This guy hasn't played in a while. He didn't play at all the last weekend series. Last time he played was 2 weeks ago against Western Kentucky in that series.
As he rips one down the right field line, and it looks to be fair. That's going to be trouble for NKU as he's heading to second, and he gets held up. Nice little knock there, and you couldn't really tell, and he celebrates a little bit with his teammates.
I will say, obviously, Cincinnati does it the best, but I love the double celebrations that teams will come up with.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun little thing that you get to do, and you get to let them have. I don't know if you saw, though, some of them, I guess, have been getting out of hands to the point some umpires have been telling them to knock off the celebrations. So it's a little interesting when some umpires let go and some don't. As Johnson works, man on second. Ball is past the catcher, and he'll easily get over to third base. So now runner is definitely in scoring position. The count is sitting at 1-0.
I mean, it's a Tuesday series, obviously. Pitchers aren't expected to go for the longest time. I wonder how much of a leeway Dizzy will give his pitcher until he decides to either call a meeting or just take him out.
Cameron Boyd stepping to the plate for USI. 1 out, 1-0 count. Johnson to the plate, just outside. Just seems like he's not exactly the most comfortable throwing from the stretch.
Mm-hmm. That also, I mean, his off-speed stuff, it seems like most of it has been outside. He's really not found that location yet.
Misses that one low. Being the 8 hitter, I guess, technically walking him to get up to 9 isn't the worst idea, but also the 9 hole isn't always the worst hitter anymore. Speaking of which, that is a walk. And stepping to the plate is number 29, Hunter Miller.
Hunter Miller's not played much this season. Only 20 at-bats, went 6 for 20 in those at-bats, though. And then earlier this season, he went over 2 against the Norse in their 1 game played.
He is stepping up to the plate. Johnson works. A little low, I guess, there for a ball. And you mentioned in the first inning he was throwing those first pitch strikes, but that's 3 straight batters that he has thrown a ball to.
Yeah.
Got to get ahead of hitters. Looking for a pitcher's best friend double play right here to get out of this jam. Turns the bunt and he throws down. Still is good. So we will have, or SIU will have runners on second and third.
And one thing, I was doing some research about this SIU team. They're not really the best at stealing bases, only 73% clip, but right there looks like he was able to get in by a decent margin right there.
Johnson now from the stretch. There's the strike. That's what you're looking for. Hopefully, you can build on that as the count moves to 2-1. Again, Hunter Miller at the plate from Fort Pierce, Florida. That's strike 2. Painting the black right there. Getting that fastball working. We're moving to 2-2 count. Again, the game is tied here 1-1. Each team has 2 hits, and KU unfortunately has 2 errors. And that's going to be a foul ball. Runners on second and third. Johnson looks at his wrist, looking for the pitch. Needs that strikeout pitch right here. And that's high and outside, so we will now move to 3-2.
I think the last thing you want to do right here is walk this guy, bring up a 356 hitter to see what happens.
Yeah, the leadoff hitter coming up to bat right now would not be what you want to see with bases loaded and only 1 out. And instead it will be a ground ball to the first base. He'll tag first, and the run will score though. But hey, got it out there, much needed.
Second out of the inning now with the leadoff hitter coming up.
He had a base knock earlier in the game. Now what NKU wants to see right here. Third baseman playing in just a little bit, just maybe possibly looking for a bunt. Ball on the outside. Johnson just got to settle in, find us a good first pitch. Johnson from stretch. That's a strike right there. Count moves to 1-1. Cameron Boyd lays off third base. Kind of lackadaisically, nothing serious. As the ball misses inside, count will move to 2-1.
It's not likely we see it, but Boyd is 7 for 7 on stolen bases this season. But
if he steals home, I'll be very impressed.
College baseball, anything can happen.
Johnson from the stretch. Working the pitch right here is now 3-1. Nice at bat here for Parker Martin, the sophomore out of Missouri City, Texas. I've always been interested, and I've always wanted to talk to some of these kids and ask, like, what makes you want to leave those warm areas to come up to this cold area that we live in?
Going through NKU's roster, we have like 6-7 players from California. I'm like, why would you want to do that to yourself? But Hey, if they're getting a full scholarship, you can't say no to that.
So D1 scholarship's got to be really nice to work on. And you mentioned that you'd be curious to see when a mound visit would come, and it looks like that's what we have going on here. As the team circle around, it is first and third. Stepping up to the plate will be Kai Holiday, the senior from Mississippi.
I will see the bullpen, but I would be surprised to see if he stays in this game right now. Cannot find the strike zone at all.
Yeah, you just give him a little settle-in spot, though. Find some confidence. Tell him you still believe in him. He's just got to get an out here. He got out of it last inning. He can do it again. Because you know you're going to come to the bat. This team is very, very, very good at home, and they're able to knock in runs with some of the best in the Horizon League, as me and you have talked about. So, it's a mound visit is over. And we're back underway. Johnson looking to get Kai Holiday to ground into something, strike something out as he steps up to the plate 0-1. And he gets that first pitch strike. Find his confidence settle in. Ball outside there, low. Count moves to 1-1. Looking at the wrist, seeing what the call is here. Inside pitch, ground hard to the shortstop. He quickly turns to second baseman, and he gets the out. So at the end of the top of 2, it will be USI 2, NKU coming to bat. We'll be right back with you. Welcome back, I should say, to Bill Akers Ballpark Complex, as we have a 2-1 ball game going into the bottom of the second. Hopefully our scoreboard at home is now updated for you guys. My play-by-play partner reminded me that I need to be doing that as well. We got our first pitch ball in the dirt.
And if you're looking at this team historically, you talked a bit about it, but this is a rivalry that really goes back to D2 days. They used to be in the same conference together, played all the time, but since NKU made the jump to D1, they didn't jump at the same time, so we kind of had to wait a bit, but now we're able to play them again.
And it's always nice to see old rivalries come back. We obviously got that as that ball is fouled off, and the dog in front of us was very ready for that baseball.
And also, I mean, you look historically back in 2007, a player by the name of Nathan Jones, that some people may recognize, pitched against this team.
That was a pretty good Major League Baseball player. He went on to do some things. As that second pitch blows right by him, and it is now 1-2. See, when you asked me about that last night, obviously off air, and you were texting me like, you wouldn't believe, and I was like, wait, Dizzy pitched against them? And I was like, Jones. Okay, that makes sense. As that ball's foul, far down the right field line, and staying foul.
I mean, you're looking here, Mark Nowak, the guy up to bat right now. He's from Florence. And really, I mean, this is only his third start of the season, so there's probably some nerves going into it from him. So I'll be curious to see what he's able to do.
As he settles into the box. Dimitri's work. ball on the inside, and we go to 2-2.
And he's also collected his first hit of the season against Youngstown State last weekend.
Always nice to get that first hit. Get it out of the way. Count moves to 2-2. Pitcher works. And he goes around for strike 3. Catcher makes the throw over, and he doesn't even bother running that one out as he looks at his bat like the bat did something wrong.
It's always the bat's fault, never the player.
I always love that. It's never the player's fault. Like you said, it's going to be the baseball bat's fault. As Braden Rogers comes to bat.
I mean, Rogers was somebody, he went 0 for 8 against Youngs this last series. He's probably looking to get out of this slump for him.
Apologize about that wind. There's some things we can't help right now as we work this, but we are going to make this work a little bit better hopefully next time around and work on the wind as that first pitch strike comes across. Ball on the inside. Deep in the inside, I should say. Count moves to 1-1. We have a 2-1 ball game again. NKU 2 hits. USI 2 hits. The pitcher from the stretch bounces around and throws it hard and down the left, or should I say third base line, and also way foul. Ball in play, so they got to quickly get that off a play, and they do. Sometimes you got to feel for these pitchers. Blisters coming from the cold air and everything else, the wind, and just being miserable.
Yeah.
A pitch. Ooh, looks like he painted the black, and the team thought he did, but just on the outside as it moves to 2-2. Yeah, I don't know what that noise was. Don't even ask me. That's a ball high. We're going to go full count, 3-2. 1 out. I have no idea what that sound was.
Not gonna lie, that was your stomach when it was.
It wasn't. Something kind of noise came out of my mouth, and I don't know what kind of growl or why, but. And that's a deep fly ball left field. That is fair and gone.
Touch them all.
Absolute power shot right there, and we talked about the wind blowing in, and the wind was blowing in on that one, but it was a nice shot right there, and we got a 2-2 ball game. As you say, touch them all. Dizzy excited to see that.
I mean, that's now his 3rd home run of the season. Not really known for having the most pop, but he got it done right there. Much needed for NKU.
Find some confidence right there at bat.
You find confidence, and hopefully for NKU's sake, you're able to rattle the pitcher some.
Nolan Sparks now steps up to the plate. The
right fielder
from Canada. I don't think this is cold for him. As Dimitri works quickly from the wind or stretch, I say again. Looked a little nice painting by the catcher right there as the count goes to 0-1.
And you talk about kind of like random stats and stuff. Nolan Sparks is 2nd on the team in hit by pitch. One of his best attributes, I would say.
Hey, find a way to get on no matter what it is.
You know it.
As he takes that ball on the outside. Count moves to 1-1. We got a 2-2 ball game. NKU almost has as many hits as they did last time, sitting at 3. From stretch, and the ball is high. Like you said, maybe that home run will startle the pitcher a little bit, get him moving, and get his pitch count up. Staring at his glove a little bit. Just blows that one right by him. Count will move to 2-2. Let me update the scoreboard for everybody as well at home. As I said, count moves to 2-2. And that is a hard foul ball to the right field. That ball is long gone and lost.
Straight to the rec center, it looks like.
I always wonder what they do with those baseballs when they find them. You think they just leave them down there or somebody goes and gets them?
Good question.
Pitcher from stretch. A nice high heat on the inside and he pokes it out to right field.
Did he make the play?
And he did. Beautiful diving catch right there. Very impressive done by number 9.
Cameron Boyd, the Beechwood kid, made that play.
Yeah, he probably had somebody locally a little bit cheering for him there. As number 10, Marcus Harrison, steps up to the plate. Demetri settles back in. 2-2 ball game with 2 outs. Blows that first pitch fastball. I will say these pitchers outside, last inning have been able to get that first pitch strike across the plate.
Yep.
It's low.
And I mean, talk about people just getting on base. Marcus Harrison this season's batting 186, yet his on base percentage is 422 for the year.
Hey, just get them on, get them over, get them in. It's as cliche and as old as time, but it's the way that wins baseball games. So that ball is taken high. Count moves to 2-1.
He's worked 18 walks this season.
That's impressive. This pitcher settles in. Does a little hop. Throws it on the inside, and the count will move to 3-1. Standing on deck is Brennan Rowe. He's a redshirt senior from Powell, Ohio. Little bounce in the pitch. And that'll be ball 4, another walk.
There we go. Now you're able to set up Brennan Rowe with a opportunity now.
Not only that, but always getting that batter at the bottom of the inning is a very, very nice thing to happen. So then, worst case scenario, you lead off at the top of the lineup next inning.
Yep. And if you look at Rowe, he was one of the players that helped this team obviously make the regional, so it's fun to see that he was able to come back.
Man on first. Demetri steps up. Settles in. Strike on the outside corner. Paint to black. Pitcher bends over from stretch. Takes a look at first base. Got to be ready for that pickoff move just in case. But he goes home, throws on the outside. Catcher thinks about throwing down the first just to make sure the runner gets back, but not a big enough lead to do so. Count moves to 1-1. Demetri settles back in. Blows out one right by. Count moves to 1-2. As that baseball is not popular for the catcher, so he asks for a new baseball. Steps off the mound, starts breaking it in a little bit. As he settles back in, count remains 1-2. We're in the bottom of second, 2-2 ball game. It pick off first, did not work this time.
Yeah, I don't think Harrison has any intention of trying to steal this bag right now.
Yeah, no, and you just stay close enough to make sure that pickoff move does not work again. And that is hit in the gap past the second baseman. But it's fielded quick enough by the right fielder and getting in, so we will have first and second, 2 outs. As the top of the lineup steps up, and Tyler Schanfeld. Oh, no, I apologize. I said that name wrong, didn't I? So we got time as the catcher makes his way out to talk to the pitcher. Preparing for some kind of pick-off move, or
I mean, if you look at this pitcher, I mean, this weekend series, he played both the Friday and the Sunday game. So I mean, he's obviously rested enough to pitch starting here, but definitely not 100% with his arm.
You said he pitched twice this weekend.
Yes.
Oh, that is kind of weird though that he would get 2 outings over the weekend and then get to start today, as it looks like they are getting somebody warmed up and headed to the bullpen. Making a nice little long trot out there to left field. But we're back underway. He works. That's a first pitch ball. Nice to see that happen.
Yep.
Again, man on first and second. Working from stretch. And he lays down a bunt down to the third base line. Third baseman makes it and is not going to get the throw. Very nicely done. And we now have bases loaded for NKU. And the number 2 hitter,
Davenport.
Davenport stepping up. He's knocked in 39 this year and looking for some more. And they're out there for him.
I mean, currently he is second on the team in home runs with 10 this season. So, wait, no, my apologies. He's first in the team in home runs this season.
A nice long shot right here. Get a few in would be very nice to get a nice lead. Also, I should say that NKU now has 5 hits, which again is more than they totaled up last time. So a very good start to this game as the first pitch comes across strike. I don't think I've ever seen a dog so excited to try to get a baseball in my life.
Well, look at his jersey. It seems like that's the same name as one of our catchers on the team, last name. So
Greatest dog in the world. Pitch. Ooh, that looked a little low to me, but he's going to call it a strike. I don't think he's called that strike all day. 0-2 count. Now that Davenport knows that he's got to protect the plate right here, you know he's going to give him something probably to chase. Playing a little pickle out there at second base, and that is ripped down to the third base line, hit hard, and the third baseman is not able to get it to tag base, and he won't get the runner either, and a run will score. And NKU takes a 3-2 lead.
See, I'm slightly confused on that play. It looked like the third baseman had plenty of room to run over and tag, but either way, I'll take it. NKU leads 4-2.
And now Miranda steps up to the plate, which we all know can end up in very, very good things.
48 hits on the season, 32 runs, 43 RBIs. Let's see if these numbers can be expanded a bit.
Already knocked in 1 RBI today. Looks like the umpire called time there for a second. Still got a guy warming up in the bullpen, but he's not on the ground, or I should say the catcher's not on the ground catching. It just looks like he's still warm stretching. Maybe didn't get him out there in time. First pitch ball, 1-0 or 1-0 count. Dimitri looks over at first base, comes in pitch, and blows that strike down low. He's calling that low pitch now. He wasn't calling it earlier in the game, but it looks like that's going to be a strike now. So the hitters need to be prepared for that. Pitcher comes from stretch. We got base load, and it is ripped hard and in the gap. That is going to score at least 1 for NKU. It's going to score 2 for NKU, and he holds the runner at third. So it is first and third after Miranda knocks him in, and we will take a 5-2 victory. Or lead, I should say, not victory. Wow, 5-2 lead here.
And with that, NKU has just lost the game.
And the Northcutt jinx is real. We all know that. Now stepping up plate to Sam Bond. NKU looking to still add some more runs, man. On first and third, only 2 outs.
I mean, Sam Bond, he didn't play the best against Youngstown State this week. It would be great to see him do something here and score some runs. Dimitri
steps in the mound. Does look like the catcher's finally over there being prepared. And the pitcher soon maybe will be coming in, but hopefully maybe we're trying to get through this inning, I guess the coach would be thinking. And I should add that manager is Chris Ramirez in year 1 at USI, but comes with 11 years of head coaching experience and a 35-202 record at the Division II level. But as you mentioned, USI is trying to make the leap to Division I. Technically not in play for the playoffs and such yet until next fall, as they're trying to get an next spring, or no, yeah, it would be fall, to get an accelerated push to be part of the OVC and have chances for the College World Series and whatever other sport they want to play in.
Did not know that the NCAA had a way to accelerate it now. Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was reading about, at least on their website. So if wrong, then blame them, which they also called themselves USI and UIS and IUSU. So I didn't know until earlier today. As pitches on the outside, Miranda just takes second base with ease.
Yep. Second baseman was playing off the bag, just let him walk into it, didn't even need to slide.
Count moves to 1-2. We have 2 outs, 5-2 ball game. NKU's put up 4 this inning and looking to at least get 2 more here.
Also, something I didn't notice, but that was Gabe Marino's 50th hit of the season with that last single.
Nice little milestone as he gets him the batter to chase, and that will put him down. So NKU will take a 5-2 lead as we move to the top of the third, and we will be back. Welcome back to NKU as they have a 5-2 lead going into the top of the third. And stepping in for NKU is MJ Castaneda. Any stats on him so far?
Yeah, I mean, this season he's not really been the best pitcher. Last appearance he made was against Eastern Kentucky. He went 2.1 innings, gave up 2 runs in that appearance. However, this is also only the 4th game he's played, so very small sample size. And for baseball, we all know that anything can happen.
As he falls into a 2-0 count. From the windup, ripped hard down the line.
Good play made by the backup catcher.
Hey, you got to protect your players out there. Count moves to 2-1. Stat line currently has USI at 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and the Norris, as that ball is ripped far down the left field line and foul. Norris have 5 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. Castaneda settles in from the windup and the pitch. Nice breaking ball right there to get the foul ball of 2-2.
I mean, you're looking at this player that's in the box right now. He leads the team in home runs with 5. Really one of the main guys with pop on the whole team. I mean, he's hit 5 of the team's 14 home runs this season.
Yeah, we talked about it before we went on air that there's not a lot of pop in this team. Last time NKU played them, 3 players on NKU's squad had more home runs than the entire team. As he works a walk, very nicely done there by Cole Kitchens. Now stepping up will be Patrick McLean with a man on first. Currently 0 for 1 for the day. Castaneda from the stretch. Ball hard to the background.
Dog was trying to decide if it was worth going for it or not.
Well, Dog decided it was worth it, and he's upset he didn't get the ball.
I mean, if you're looking at Casanova, who's currently pitching in each of the appearances he's made this season, which again, only 3. This is his 4th. He's given up at least 2 runs in each of those appearances.
Hopefully he can settle in here, and that can change. The reverse announcer, good jinx. As he throws from the stretch. Ball on the outside. Just doesn't seem to have his breaking ball working today. The catcher heading on out there.
I mean, he's playing in a decent cold climate. Just the ball feels different in this weather.
Talking it out, though. Setting him down a little bit. Nice little tap of the gloves, and he's coming back. He's got a 3-run lead, so there's plenty of time and plenty of space to just settle in here and get some outs. Standing on the on-deck circle is number 14. Which is very weird because there's no number 14 on their sheet. There's a ball low.
I marked it as 13 by accident. It's Coakley.
Failing us.
Yeah, I know. My bad.
Yes. Count moves to 3 now. Needs a strike right here. Scores around the bunt and takes that strike. Kind of just putting the bat out there to make the pitcher think a little bit. As you mentioned, Castaneda is a right-handed sophomore from San Jose, California, so this cold weather might be messing with him a little bit, and hopefully he can settle in and stretch. And that's a nice inside pitch right there as the count has moved to full. Cole Kitchen sitting there out there on second base, hoping to get knocked in. From the stretch. Castaneda gets the ground ball to the shortstop, settled. An easy little throw to first and Miranda, and that will be 1 down.
Perfect job making sure the guy on second doesn't make an attempt at doing anything silly and fully gets the out. Also, I mean, something I've always wondered, so you have a team, obviously Northern Kentucky, small school in Kentucky. How do we find these guys from California?
No, I've actually never asked that, but next time I get an interview with Dizzy, because I was very fortunate enough to have a preseason, I guess you want to say, interview with him. I'll ask him how exactly they go about finding those and maybe how many scouts they have and such like that, because it is an interesting situation, especially with like a little school like ours of NKU. How do you find that kid in California?
Yeah. And also, I mean, this guy, we got him out of high school. It's not like he was a transfer. He was just trying to find a new place to start his career at. That was a questionable ball call.
Yeah, that was a strike earlier in the game, but we'll let it go. It's 1-1. Again, Coakley is stepping up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Castaneda from the stretch, a little low. And he's definitely feeling the effects of the weather. He keeps going to his hands right after pitch, after pitch, after pitch. Just kind of just trying to stay warm, find some warmth. Settles in right here. Looks back at second base. Goes home. Throws the ball. And the count now will move to 3-1. Stepping off the back of the mound, just kind of gathering himself. No damage will be done completely right here with a walk, but would like to get an out. Can't put the tying run at bat. And he works, and that's a ball 4. As you can tell, that's a little frustration with him. He got a little frustrated, might have let a word or two slip right there. So now first and second. As number 5, Clayton Slack stands at the plate from Wisconsin. And it looks like Dizzy may have seen enough as he heads out there.
Interesting.
It is a little interesting, but maybe he had a pitch count, especially with a young arm. Maybe he wanted some confidence. Didn't like what he saw, but it does look like he's going to go ahead. So I can't see who it is, number 32 or 42 maybe? 32 or 42?
We don't have either of those numbers. Wait, no, we have a 32. Logan Wilson, potentially?
We'll take a little quick break as we figure out who's going to pitch and let him get warmed up. Welcome back to Friendship Field as NKU has a 5-2 lead at the top of the third with 1 out. Logan Wilson from Erlanger, Kentucky will be
Florence, Kentucky.
Florence,
no,
Kentucky.
Erlanger. My bad. You can read right than I can.
You're good. Will be now taking over on the mound. Man on first and second.
And Wilson, I mean, he's coming off of an outing on the 12th against Youngstown where he went 3 1/3 inning of 1-hit baseball with 5 Ks, no runs given up.
Well, we could use some of those Ks right here to get out of this inning, or a nice little 6-4-3 pitcher's best friend as he holds the runner on tight second base. It works quickly. Nice fastball right there to go 1-1.
Right now, if you're Castaneda, you're praying that he doesn't give up any runs here and he hits.
You know what? You work out of it. It's all good. Castaneda just didn't have his stuff today.
Yep.
Young guy. Needed to work on it. He'll be back. Wilson from stretch.
Foul tip.
Dog was ready to catch it. I literally think that's my favorite thing in the world is to watch this dog.
Mm-hmm. Well, I find it interesting how there's some balls that he'll fully want to go after, then somebody's like, nah.
Again, Wilson working from the stretch. And on first and second. 1-2 count. Takes a look back. Nice breaking ball for strike 3. Very nicely done. Now will be out number 2 for NKU.
Beautiful pitch. I mean, Logan Wilson averages 8.6 Ks per 9, so I mean that's right in his wheelhouse of what he should be doing.
This was a nice call to the bullpen done by Dizzy. Who I should mention also, again, got a nice little reward for his 100th victory last time out. He's now sitting at 102 and 102 in his 4th year at NKU, but a long time Norse. 17 years as an assistant head coach.
Yep. And I mean, if you talk about Dizzy, I mean, every year has just been improvement for him. And obviously that all culminated in him making the college baseball playoffs, which was a great experience for him and his team.
Yeah, he talked a little bit about it in our interview and how much it all meant to him to be like the first coach to be able to do that in the Division I era, and how as that ball is hit solidly but way foul to left field. How much it meant to give that back to NKU and how much pride he takes in being a Norse and what the Norse has done for his family. He jokes he's never worked a day in his life. He's just done baseball. And what's funny is he didn't even want to be a pitcher. He started as a outfielder and wasn't hitting too well. As that ball is hit hard and sharp into the gap, it will likely score 1. It would hold the other 2 runners on first and second. The lead will now be cut down to 5-3.
Yeah, and obviously you talk about Dizzy. I mean, he played college baseball here too. I mean, he's been with this program essentially nearly most of his life. It's just super cool to see that he finally, all the hard work paid off and he was able to make it.
Yeah, but when he talked about the pitching, he was like, I guess he was at his first school. I forget where exactly he said. He was in the outfield, and the pitcher or head coach was like, hey, we need a pitcher. And he's like, I'll try it. And after that, he just kind of took over, and he's like, oh, it wasn't that hard. And me and Garrett kind of laughed because one of the hardest things to do in sports is to pitch.
Yeah.
As he blows that first pitch by. Very nicely done by Logan Wilson to get that 0-1 count.
Not mistaken, he made all conference honors at NKU.
Yeah, he had Tommy John surgery, unfortunately, back when Tommy John was a career ender and not so much a any day, every day kind of thing. As the count is now 0-2. Logan Wilson hoping to settle out of this. Again, the junior out of Erlanger, Kentucky, transfer from UC Claremont. It's a nice little jump. Comes from stretch. That ball's hit the right field, and it looks like it will be caught in a routine out, and it will. So at the end of going into the bottom of 3, it is NKU 5, USI 3, and we will be right back with you. Welcome back to the Bill Akers Baseball Complex at Friendship Field as we have a 5-3 ball game for the Norse. Settling in now for USI is a new starting pitcher, number 35 Gonzalez, as that ball has hit the right field and looked to be, was caught. We're in a very awkward situation where the dugout is right in front of our face, so we can't quite see that corner. So that was caught, and there will be one out. What do you have on Andres Gonzalez?
Yeah, so I'm looking over his recent appearances and stuff. It seems like this guy's a typical weekend starter for the Southern Indiana Eagles.
So we settle in right here, working quickly. Nice pitch on the inside for a strike. If you're going to throw a weekend starter out here on a Tuesday, either A, you want to see him get more work, or B, this game means a lot to you.
For sure.
And it might be a little bit of both. As that's a low right on the corner yet again, caught for a strike. Either the catcher is very good at placing that, or the umpire loves calling that ball a strike. That looks a little low to me. Where's my stat tracker when I need it? On the outside.
See, we need stat track in the college level. I don't care how much it costs to give it to us.
Way too much. 1-2 count. Working very quickly. Breaking ball right there. Gets hit hard to the shortstop and thrown out of first.
I'll be curious to see how long the manager lets this guy go out.
Next stepping up is Nolan Sparks from Canada. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Very impressed with how quick Gonzalez is working. As Sparks looked to maybe just be trying to throw Gonzalez off a little bit with a fake bunt, but nothing really was real with that one. He wasn't pushing at it or anything like that, just kind of putting his bat out there. As that breaking ball comes across, very nicely done. Threw the hitter off, fastball breaking ball. Count moves to 1-1. Lost a little bit. That always excites me when the pitchers get upset because he thinks he's throwing a good pitch and then he just bounces around on the mound like, no, that one got away from me. Should be 2-1.
3-1.
Yes, 3-1. I was just looking up at the board where it said 2-2, and I was like, that's not right. I'm pretty sure it's 3-1.
Yeah, I was like, the umpire just held up 3, so.
Went down and got that one. Hit a little blooper. It looks like it's going to be caught by the center fielder, which it is. Number 1 brings it in, and that will end a very quick third inning for NKU as we go to the top of the 4th. It is NKU 5, USI 3.